So Neil, I mean that first half. I mean, I think every FC fan I spoke to was saying, how were we not winning that?" It was the goal came against Miller played, didn't it?
We switched off. We made a mistake. If fans may not see it, we're not touch tight at the back. Regan should be able to give the ball away. We're not 2 yards off a man. Spins, even makes a save, scores at the back post. They're only shot on goal all game, and there's a manager. You ripping your hair out, I'm gonna say, but you live in some of the football we played. Got to score. Cribs has got to score. Donis has got to score. Reeves has got to score. Second half, Robert Grant's got to score. Chances are there. We made it. You come to a difficult place in Stafford. We sit in and we play for long balls, and the throwing's always a danger. But you can't switch off. And I said one mistake's punish us at the minute, Tim. And I feel sorry for the lad who made the mistake, but you've got to step up. And we haven't, and we've lost the game.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you put Jan Plankas in as like a holding midfielder, I guess, at that number 4 position, and the game plan was working really, really well. We had so much ball, basically so many chances. I think, like I said, basically, I think they had one shot on goal, basically that was pushed wide, and then obviously they got luck at the draw. But just felt like sometimes we were sort of passing around and shooting. Do you think there's a bit of nervousness in the team in that final sort of third?
I think there's a few lads not following the instructions. I mean, you watch training on Thursday night. People say we play one up front. We don't. We have 3 runners in behind our front man. How many times did the 3 run behind the front man today? Linney's having to occupy 2 centre halves all game, and I thought he did great at it. But Reeves isn't going to spin every time and get you a goal. He occupies his sets, and he's got runners in behind. Full-backs are going. We didn't, and whether or not it's a confidence thing. Listen, I'm not going to lie, because they are a bit down in the dumps. They are. The 3 points has kicked them in the teeth. It has, and we were doing so well. But I said to lads, it's happened now. It's happened. We've got to move on from it. But it just seems like we're getting hurt. Especially the Rylands game where we're in control and we switch off, concede. Gainsborough, we're in control. We don't score. They score a goal that should be avoided. We go to Wythenshawe and it's kind of like we're on our knees and get beaten. And we come here today. We're bright. We're bubbly. We've got some great patterns of play. We don't score. We switch off. It kicks in the teeth. You're one down and we go again. And it's hard. And we're all feeling it. We're all feeling it. I think it's 4 we haven't won in. Of course, we're feeling it. But the other thing you can do, Tim, is roll your sleeves up and work hard. And that group in there and me, the staff will all work hard to put it right. And that's all we can say. We'll just keep working hard to try and put it right.
Yeah, I mean, what the stats will say, and everybody who was here would say that basically Stafford's basically sort of like main thing was basically get that ball in high, basically they won loads of free kicks in around the box. They had that throw in, which was basically a very shallow long throw, which every time looked dangerous, much worse than the kind of loopy sort of long throws that you get. And the defence mops everything up. I mean, they actually look comfortable. Curtis Jones got man of the match.
Jones, Halls, they're brilliant.
Yeah.
Finn, Woolerton. I can't criticise any of the players. The players played really well. What we didn't do, you've heard me use this word bravery before. It's bravery to make a decision on the pitch. So the defender is guilty for the first goal. Be brave. Go touch tight. Get hold of the centre forward so he can't spin. Give a free kick away on the halfway line if you've got to do. But we don't. We allow him time. Be brave to go in beyond Regan. Be brave to squeeze our play up to the halfway line and not getting beaten behind because Dan will come and sweep. But I think when you're getting beat, people are then wary. You don't want to go 2-0 down, 3-0 down, and it's hard. It's hard when you're out there. People don't realise how hard it is when you're out there. It's all right, me standing there and shouting and trying to encourage, but it's difficult as players, especially when they're in a bit of a blip. To make the right decision. Trust me, they want to do. They're devastated in there. They don't know how we haven't got something from the game, but we haven't. What do we do? You can't go anywhere. They're still playing for FC United. We've got a game next week against Belper. All we can do is get in training, work hard, and hope it turns. We've dropped to 11th tonight. 3 points off the playoffs. Results of, again, no one can predict them today. Warrington beating Shields, etc. So we've got to stay positive. We've got to do. Yeah, we're feeling it now. It's doom and gloom on a Saturday, and it's a long week before we play Belper. But we're going to do everything we can next week to win the game. But the fans were great again today. But like I said, just said to the radio, Tim, as players, you've got to believe and take the instructions on board. And if you're not, then someone else will come on and do it because you're leaving lads out the squad. You're leaving lads out the side. We're not bringing lads in. But we may have to. We may have to go and get 1 or 2 reinforcements that kind of will be that robotic and go right. I will run in behind the front man. I will go touch that. I will just put my head and my nose on footballs. And and it's not how you want to play at times. But also, I don't order coming to places like this and not getting anything after playing so well.
Yeah, I mean, obviously Stafford were on the back of a bad run themselves coming into this game. I think it was 2 draws and a defeat. And they looked very brittle in that first stuff, and it only looked like a moment before they would snap. Second half they came out and they did look like they'd taken a big breath and gone, right, we're in this.
Yeah, and listen, they've got the wind, they've got the throwing extra missile that comes in here, but like you said, we dealt with it well. They dropped balls in good areas. They were prepared to run in behind. They had front men who were running behind. And that, that we haven't been guilty of that all season. We've scored a lot of goals of running behind and kind of, Donald's has got a few, Annie, and whoever, maybe not just Regan. Today we just didn't do it. And again, at 1-0 down, is it because you don't want to vacate your shape? Is it because you don't want to leave your man because you're worried about what's just happened early in the first half? That's the mental bit. That's the mental block that gets into you, and that's the bit that we've got to do. The things that people don't see. It's not just about how we play. It's about the psychology that's behind it and getting these lads bang up for it again. Loads of support, loads of getting your arm around you. They're a good set of lads, good group, and hopefully, this bad luck period that we're going through at the minute will turn quickly.
Yeah, I mean, you have good patches and bad patches in a season. We rode to the top of the league, on a series of sort of good results, and we did have that bit of luck, and sometimes it just swings against you.
Yeah, it does, and I think it's going against us at the minute. But there are peaks and troughs in the season. You will get luck, you don't get luck. We haven't had a great deal today. We certainly didn't get it against Rylands. We didn't get it against Gainsborough, but then we have in other games. We have in other games, and that's we got lucky, not got lucky, but against Shields when the keeper rolled it out last minute and Donna's intercepts it and chips it. The keeper kicks it, we draw that game, and I think you get your own luck over the season. But we need a little bit now. We need a little bit because these lads they really are smart and they're hurting a little bit, and I want them to bounce. I'm desperate for them to bounce back, and that's the only thing we can do. Tim, is get round them and keep them positive, keep their heads up. They're all, like I said, they're desperate to do well for the football club. There won't be anyone having a good weekend or a good week now. We're all in the same mindset. But what I did say to the lads is that every result that people will look for and cheer is when FC United have got beat, because that's what the club does to people. People want us to get beat. They're jealous of what we've got, and I've said that to the lads, and I'm sick of giving people a bit of a thumb up at the weekend because FC have got beat. I want us to be more ruthless, nasty, a bit horrible, and say no, we don't get beat, we don't capitulate, we get points, and that's what I'm talking about. Maybe a different style of player coming in. I have to look under a few rocks over a bit of money, because they come at a bit of a price. But that's the bit, Tim, and that's the bit that annoys me more than anything, that when everyone's scalp, and in there, them lads can't let us be a scalp, and that's the real frustrating thing.
Okay, so sort of the context and sort of training this week. I mean, I guess it's going to be sort of fairly light session on Tuesday. Just get everyone sort of teed up.
Yeah. Just look at the injuries, look at the rubs and stuff. Watch Belper's highlights. Work on Belper. Training's always good. It's always with a bounce. It's always organised. The training on Thursday was great in preparation for today, and everyone was really confident. And everyone's texting me saying the session was brilliant. Gaff, we've got to go again. We've got to, we'll go there. We'll get something, but we don't. And individually, you make a mistake, and I was just desperate for the one who did make the mistake to get out of trouble. And one of them just put it in the back of the net, and because he'll take it personally, but that's football. You cross the line, you make mistakes, you don't make mistakes, we encourage mistakes. You make one that's ended up in the back of the net, and ultimately it's cost us a game. But there's lots of other things that we could have possibly done better today to rectify that error in the first half.
Okay, well, obviously, like you say, basically watch this back. So we'll take that, and just basically it's a week to sort of reset and then go again.
Good word, that's it, because we had a reset on Thursday night. We had a meeting. We never came out for training until 25 to 8 on Thursday because we just wanted to get things out on the table. People were down, and we had a reset. We had a really good training session. We worked on a few things, and we're coming here today in really good spirits. There's a buzz around the place, and we haven't got it. So, reset, like you say, and main thing for me is keeping the boys' heads up and positive, and they'll turn. They're too good not to turn. Look at the players that we've got in that side. It's just a mental barrier for me, and I'll be doing my bits this week to mentally prepare him and physically prepare him for Belper next Saturday.
Okay, well, thank you, Neil. Obviously, that one was a tough one to take for everyone at FC, but we've got next week to look forward to.
Yeah. Cheers, Sam.